people in their political problems, issues. Just a few minutes, some fiqh masail. We'll go through as many as I possibly can in the next 5 minutes or so. Firstly, an observation. And inshallah, if we do talk about the ahkam of wudu and what have you, we will come to that. But an observation in the 10 nights of Muharram that I was making, and I thought if I don't address it, people will continue doing it wrongly. As you know, masah of the feet is a compulsory part of wudu. And it is mentioned in the Quran, وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ وَأَرْجُلِكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ. When it comes to masah, it's probably best to take the socks off first before you start wudu. For sometimes, because we're in a hurry, some might try and do masah on top of their socks. That doesn't count as masah. The masah has to be done by the palm, and it needs to be on the front part of your foot. Second mas'ala relating to masah still is it is recommended for the foot to be in a stable position. So either on the ground and you bend down and do masah. Masah has to be the movement of the palm of the hand, not the foot. Yeah? Or for those of us who are unable to bend down, you can place it on a stool or a chair and do masah. The foot has to be stationary. If somebody is doing masah while standing by lifting the foot up and doing masah, then two things are doing masah. The foot and the hand are doing masah. Both are in a state of motion and moving. That is not permissible. That is not allowed. A question was asked with regards to the pictures that we had of the maraja kiram that we were displaying, and as you can see, they have been taken off because those of you who follow the Islamic laws online, you see mas'ala number 917 on Agha's website states that it is not permissible for you to have in a mosque pictures, adorn it with gold or adorn it with pictures of animals or statues of animals and men. You cannot pray in your masjid. You're not allowed to adorn it with gold or have pictures or statues of animals or human beings. So I called and I sought a bit of clarity, and the clarity is as we most of us knew it, that when we opened this mosque, it was only this hall. So we have 3 halls here. Yeah, and at times we open all 3 halls for salah. So for example, Salatul Eid, when all the brothers, the Pakistanis, the Iranians, the Afghanis, when we all get together and do Eid together, we normally open all 3 halls and we have a salah in all 3 halls. Does the ruling for masjid apply to all the halls? The answer is no. We only recited sigha for masjid in this hall. So much so that if we wanted to knock this place down and rebuild on top of it, the masjid in the new complex has to be in the same spot. Okay? So the rule applies to masjid. When we open up the hall for ease, because the mosque cannot be enough for everybody, then we open up the hall, then that hall is not, the mas'ala of masjid does not apply to that hall. And in fact, the alim went as far as saying, let's say the mosque was only this much, and that door led towards the street. And in the street, there could be statues of Mahatma Gandhi, as we know, Nelson Mandela, or anything like that. The streets are public property. There could be statues there. But because your mosque wasn't enough and you had to open the doors of the mosque and the Jamaat had to extend to the street, then the rules of the masjid cannot be applied to the street. And that's why we also see there are rules outside the masjid of who can enter, who cannot enter, what state can you enter in, what state cannot enter in. We normally invite people of other schools of faith and Hindus as well to our Imam Bargas. Yeah, so the rules that are specific for masjid are only specific for masjid, and they cannot be applied for rooms other than the masjid itself. In fact, there are some positives in having the pictures on there. Those of you who are here or during Visit My Mosque days, people ask, who are these people? Why do you have their pictures and not my picture, for example, on the wall? Yeah. Some of our children, you might know who Agha Sistani is. You might know the history of Agha Kho. You might know the history, and you would have lived through the era of Ayatollah Khomeini. You know his revolutionary ideas and what impact he has made. He was one of the most influential individuals in the 20th century. But the children don't. By having the pictures, some child might ask, who is this dad? And you are engaged in talking about that individual. So that's number 2. Number 3. Salatul Jum'ah has to be recited at the time of Zawal. So the time of noon. Let's say the adhan today was at 1 o'clock. Today was 1:04, I know, but hypothetically speaking, 1 o'clock. And the alim is late. Traffic and what have you. I've been late sometimes. The mas'ala is, if Salatul Jum'ah is not prayed at the time of Zawal, if the time of Zawal goes, then you can no longer recite Salatul Jum'ah with the niyyah of Salatul Jum'ah. You can recite it as a means of getting thawab, but you have to recite your dhuhr as well. So remember, you all know inshallah that Salatul Jum'ah you can recite with a wajib niyyah and it substitutes Salatul Dhuhr for you, provided certain conditions are met. And inshallah not today, but next time I'm here I will talk about the conditions that have to be met. Especially this year, it's quite applicable for us because now we have 3 centers, permanent Shia centers in Leicester. And if all 3 of them decided to do Salatul Jum'ah, we could be in trouble. Because 1, 2, or all 3 salats could be invalid. Yeah. So Salatul Jum'ah can substitute Salatul Dhuhr for you, provided certain conditions are met. And we'll go through those conditions next time. But it has to be recited at the time of Zawal. If the time of Zawal goes, then you can no longer recite Salatul Jum'ah. Now, the question that came to me is, well, how long do we allow? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Because we used to timetables here. And timetables have no jurisprudential value in Islam. So when I recite Salatul Subh, because my timetable says 5:17, it has no jurisprudential value in Islam. There are other conditions for establishing the time of Salah, and timetable is not one of them. So we're so used to the timetable world. Is it 5 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 15 minutes? How long do we allow? Here Agha becomes very ambiguous and leaves it to the community. He says, you need to decide as a community, what is a reasonable time for noon? If you believe that the time for noon is 10 minutes, after that you can no longer call it noon, or it's 15 minutes, after that you can no longer call it noon, then the salah cannot be recited. It can be recited as mustahab, as wanting to gain thawab, but it will not allow you to substitute for salatul dhuhr. Do you have appetite for a few more? Inshallah. Okay. So number 4. Salatul Jum'ah consists of 2 khutbahs. Yeah? Both khutbahs are part and parcel of Salatul Jum'ah. It is a obligatory precaution, according to Atlas Sistani, to listen to both khutbahs, as long as you understand the language. If you don't understand the language in which the khutbah is being delivered, you are permitted, according to Agha, to engage in other things like reciting Quran, doing ziyarah, or doing other a'mal, because you do not understand what the khatib is trying to say to you. And this goes to show the foresight of the Jama'at, that they have introduced a language for Jum'ah that is commonly understood by many of the brothers and sisters that come and join us. Number 5, Salatul Jum'ah, the khutbah of Salatul Jum'ah. Can you sit and talk in the khutbah of Salatul Jum'ah? You can. If you don't like what I'm talking about, you can sit and chit-chat. It's makruh, but as most of us know by now, anything makruh we want to do anyway. Yeah, it's not haram, it's makruh. So you can talk in Salatul Jum'ah. Yeah, it's disrespectful. Somebody had to sacrifice last night and the whole morning to prepare the khutbah, and it's disrespectful to not show some attention. But you can talk. However, if then your chit-chat starts disturbing others from listening attentively and understanding the khatib, then as an obligatory precaution, Agha says, I do not give you permission. It's not permissible to talk. Now, if Ayatullah Sistani, your marja', is saying, I do not give you permission, and he is the representative of our Imam, therefore it is Imam telling you, if your chit-chatting disturbs others from listening to the khutbah, Imam is not giving you permission. Make sense? Number 6. Is it important for me to join to receive the thawab and to substitute Salatul Dhuhr, for example? Is it must for me to be part of the khutbah of Salatul Jum'ah? No. Let's say you have been stuck in traffic. You made an intention, I'm coming for Salatul Jum'ah and I want to, for sahuliyat, for ease of life, I want to recite Salatul Jum'ah instead of Dhuhr, provided the conditions have been met. We've not talked about the conditions yet, yes? And I genuinely have been stuck in traffic. I reach and Allahu Akbar, Iqamah has started. I can join the Salah and still substitute Salatul Dhuhr and recite Salatul Jum'ah without having attended the 2 khutbahs. If I came late, so late, number 7, if I came so late that the khatib has already gone into the first ruku' of the first rak'ah in Salatul Jum'ah. So I've missed adhan, I've missed iqamah, I've missed the khutbah 2, I've missed the iqamah, I've missed the qiyam. Surah Al-Jum'ah. Khatib is now in ruku. Allahu Akbar, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim wa bihamdih. Can I still join? Can I still get the thawaf for Salatul Jum'ah? Can it substitute Salatul Dhuhr? Yes, it can. What if I came so late that the Khatib is now standing in the second rak'ah of Salatul Jum'ah? So this is mas'ala number 8. Khatib is standing in the second rak'ah of Salatul Jum'ah. So I've missed all that stuff. I missed the first rak'ah of Salah. Now he's in the second rak'ah. Allahu Akbar, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Can I still join? Yes, I can. The Khatib is in the second surah of the second rak'ah. I can still join. I can still get the thawab and I can still get the substitute Salatul Dhuhr. Provided after the first rak'ah, of course, I stand up and complete the second rak'ah of Salah on my own. But if the Khatib now, mas'ala number 9. If the Khatib says Allahu Akbar and he goes into ruku', it's too late. I can still join Salah. So any other Salah, so let's say if we were playing Salatul Maghrib, for example, or Salatul Dhuhr, for example, as you all know, you can join from anywhere while up until ruku'. So let's say I came so late in Salatul Maghrib and the Khatib said Allahu Akbar and he goes into ruku'. I can still say Allahu Akbar going to ruku' and that will count as my first rak'ah in Jama'ah. But when it comes to the second rak'ah of Salatul Jum'ah, if the Khatib has already said Allahu Akbar and goes into ruku', I can join, but it cannot substitute Salatul Dhuhr for me. So you have so many opportunities to join. Does it all make sense? Yeah, so there are so many opportunities to join Salatul Jum'ah. Yeah, look at the ease with which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala offers us. And it substitutes Dhuhr for you. And inshallah, next week, mashallah, the crowd is a lot. Not everybody follows this ruling and everybody waits deliberately and comes in the second rak'ah of the second Allahu Akbar, going into ruku', thinking that, I can just join and can still have Salatul Dhuhr in 2 seconds. But no, I know we want ease, but not that easy, yes? So, inshallah, there's so many opportunities to join Salah up until he says Allahu Akbar for ruku'. Then you can join as mustahab, but you must then say Salatul Dhuhr, 4 rak'ats, afterwards. And then after that, you cannot join, inshallah. Let us pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sake of Muhammad and Ali